এখন কি দেখা যাচ্ছে একটু শোনা যাচ্ছে একটু পরে 20 সেকেন্ডস ডিলে একটু আহ, দেখতে পারেন ক্লিনটন শোনা যাচ্ছে কিনা এখন। এখন কি দেখা যাচ্ছে হ্যাঁ একটু শোনা যাচ্ছে একটু পরে 20 সেকেন্ডস ডিলে একটু দেখতে পারেন।
হ্যাঁ ম্যাডাম, ঠিক আছে।
ওয়ান্ডারফুল। তাহলে আমরা শেষের দিকে আহ গিভ মি ইউল হ্যাভ টু গিভ মি আ ফিউ মিনিটস আমরা কিছু কোয়েশ্চেন আনসার নেব and then we will you have to give me a couple of minutes আমি ইউটিউবের লাইভ স্ট্রিমটা অফ করব তারপর we can just chat informally a bit. আমার স্লাইডস কি দেখা যাচ্ছে এখন?
হ্যাঁ ম্যাডাম, দেখা যাচ্ছে।
আচ্ছা। Sakwat sir, you can let people in because soon I will start to talk. আমার মনে হয় you have the
Okay, okay. I'll do it.
privilege to do that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good evening, everyone. I want to welcome you. আমার নাম হচ্ছে Dr. Nusrat Rabbee. আমি Holy Cross School or কলেজের alum. And I know people are still joining. We have a substantial number of participants যারা already join করেছে এবং so this is going to be live streamed. This is being live streamed on YouTube as well as এখানে Zoom-এ। তো I want to start off by thanking Sister Shikha, our principal, for making this happen. এবং আমাদের মাঝে আজকে student and faculty and staff are present from Holy Cross College. Clinton, thank you for joining early. Sakwat sir, thank you for joining early, and all the students who have joined. So, as people are joining, there will be you will be admitted into the Zoom meeting. And there is a WhatsApp group, as the college has communicated. ওখানে তোমরা প্রশ্ন দিতে পারো, comment, feedback, I welcome it. এবং at the end of this session, we'll have a little bit of chat for any questions that may come up. So, Sakwat sir, Clinton, if you cannot hear me or if you cannot see me at any time, Zoom, just let me know. Just unmute yourself and let me know. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. So, today, so as I said, it's AI literacy and leadership program. A class Gulab, I consider this part 1 for AI education. And it's being offered by me exclusively for Holy Cross College Class 12 students and faculty. প্রথমেই শুরু করি course logistics আর schedule দিয়ে. There'll be 6 live Zoom sessions. This being the first one, আজকেরটাই শুরু। আমরা free ChatGPT যে version আছে সেটা use করব for demonstrations and exercises. Students, তোমরা participate করতে পারো with or without a ChatGPT account. You can actually just go to ChatGPT without creating an account, chatgpt.com, and ask a question. And that's all that's going to be needed. But if you have a subscription, if you want to get more into it, that's up to you. A session, these will be recorded and they're actually being streamed live on YouTube. So J link to আমি share করেছি, and this is here as well. Session 1 এর এই লিংকটা দিলে ইউটিউবে এই লেকচারটা পাবে। এবং session 2 and 3 and 4, etc. will have new YouTube links, but I will keep this Zoom link fixed for the rest of our sessions. Our session dates গুলো হচ্ছে June 27, July 3, July 5, July 11, 18, or 25. July 4th is next Saturday. ওইটা আমি অফ নিয়েছি কারণ আমেরিকায় ওইটা this is our Independence Day. So next Friday there'll be a session, and next Sunday there'll be a session. And then it becomes every other week Saturday. New York time যেখানে আমি সকাল 10টায়, আর ঢাকায় আপনাদের জন্য রাত 8টায়. These are the course logistics. And we will go over this every time we meet. আজকের session 1 এর learning objective হচ্ছে 4টা. Understand what AI is and where it is used. Second হচ্ছে how ChatGPT generates responses. শুধু ChatGPT না, any AI tool, যেমন Gemini হতে পারে, Cloud হতে পারে, or DeepSeek হতে পারে, Grok হতে পারে. ChatGPT is one of the more common ones. Third objective হচ্ছে recognize AI strengths and limitations. And number 4 হচ্ছে apply judgment and verification. when using AI. এই চারটা হচ্ছে আমাদের আজকের সেশনের লার্নিং অবজেক্টিভ। At the end of this session, I hope to play a little game with you. যে গেমে আমরা দেখব যে if you got these outcomes out of this, of these objectives, did you hit these outcomes out of this session? The most important question of the artificial intelligence era, before I answer that, imagine you need help with understanding CRISPR gene editing. You need help with analyzing Shakespeare. You need to write Python code. Python একটা programming language. You want to create a business plan. Traditionally, you would consult many experts. I know, many different experts. But today, millions of people are asking a single artificial intelligence or AI system. So the mystery is not that AI answers questions. The mystery is why it can answer questions across so many disciplines. So knowledge has always been specialized. Wouldn't you agree? You have a chemistry sir, you have a biology madam, you have a literature sir, you have a madam teaching you mathematics. Universities developed departments because knowledge became too vast for any one person to master over his or her lifetime. অনেক আগে ছিল, কিন্তু এত নলেজ বাড়ার পরে it was very essential to become specialized. অনেক আগে ছিল পণ্ডিত যারা সবকিছু সম্বন্ধে জেনারেল নলেজ রাখতো. So now, for many, actually at least 2 centuries, a physician studies medicine, an engineer studies engineering, a historian studies history, a statistician studies statistics. But ChatGPT appears to cross all of these boundaries. So human expertise is specialized. Modern AI appears to be general. So now I encourage you, for those of you who are on a computer, to open https://chatgpt.com. You don't have to create an account. You can also, if you have an iPhone, open the ChatGPT app. Or if you're on Android, you also have a ChatGPT app. And if you don't want to do any of these, just follow along. Now, let me show one thing here. Can you guys see my Chrome window? Clinton, can you see my Chrome, our browser window?
Yes, madam.
Acha. So I typed in these questions into ChatGPT. This is the free version. Explain CRISPR gene editing to a class 12 biology student and define CRISPR. What is it? CRISPR, dilo ekhane answer. This is the free version of ChatGPT. CRISPR is clustered, regularly interspaced, short palindromic repeats. It's a defense system found in bacteria that protects from viruses. Scientists have adapted this system to powerfully edit genes in the human body that allows precise changes to our DNA. So এটা actually এই ধরনের মেডিসিন বেরোচ্ছেন, it's actually curing genetically inherited diseases. CRISPR gene editing is a technique to use to add, remove, or modify DNA sequences যেটা normally naturally occur করে আমাদের genome. And how it works is there's a guide piece, acts like a GPS, মানে একটা driving directioner মতো. It guides the CRISPR technology to where it's going to, where the match is occurring, DNA এর মধ্যে, ACTT, TT, AAA, TT, CCG, কোনখানে এই প্যাটার্নটা occur করে, then the enzyme goes to that area and acts like a molecular pair of scissors. Then the repair begins. A faulty gene is disabled this way. অনেক ধরনের genetic disease, the faulty gene is now cut out and disabled, and a correct DNA sequence is inserted. So it explains the whole thing here, right? Exam ready summary dilo. ChatGPT. So advantages, limitations, applications, simple analogy, how it works, what, definition, what, how, analogy, application, advantage, limitation, and exam ready summary, and one-line definition. As well as a, no, so this is an ad. You see, this is an ad. Don't click on this because it'll waste your time. আর যেহেতু এটা ফ্রি ভার্সন, এখানে অ্যাড দেখা যায় এখন। আমার একটা সাবস্ক্রিপশন আছে, ইফ আই হ্যাড লগড অন ভায়া মাই সাবস্ক্রিপশন, এটা দেখতে পেতাম না। ইট কাইন্ড অফ ইজ কাইন্ড টু মি and removes all the ads. তারপরের কোয়েশ্চেন হলো analyze Hamlet's indecision in Act 3 of Hamlet and give the background. এই প্রশ্নটা আমি জিজ্ঞেস করলাম, চলে গেল লিটারেচার ওয়ার্ল্ডে। Before Act 3, several important events shape Hamlet's state of mind. Hamlet Denmark returned করলো after the death of his father. His mother quickly married his uncle, and the ghost of Hamlet's father revealed a King Claudius had actually murdered his father. And Hamlet decides to pretend to be mad while he investigates this truth. A indecision, it is a very famous moment in literature and in life's teachings, to be or not to be. এবং তার inner conflict নিয়ে is explained here by ChatGPT, that Hamlet is seeking proof before he takes revenge. And he goes into prayer. He does not kill Claudius. He's praying for guidance. But he does finally act impulsively against somebody else. It's an accident. Then ChatGPT explains the reasons for Hamlet's indecision and a conclusion. So it's pretty comprehensive. Doesn't mean it's true, but doesn't mean it's a complete answer. You have to read Hamlet, but it's a pretty good summary. এখানে আরেকটা third question দিলাম, evaluate Tesla's business strategy and explain what Tesla is. Tesla is one of the most successful electric car in the world. Tesla is an American company that designs and manufactures electric vehicles. এখানে লিখলো, the business strategy is vertical integration. That means Tesla decided যে ওরা নিজেদের ব্যাটারি, পাওয়ার ট্রেন, সফটওয়্যার, ম্যানুফ্যাকচারিং সব নিজেরা করবে, rather than heavily relying on suppliers. Direct sale করবে to consumers. And the whole car is navigated by a software. I don't know if you have stepped into a Tesla, but all you have when you go get in there is a big screen. That's it. There are no gears in that car. And of course, the battery is the most important system. You have to charge it. What are the challenges? And an overall assessment of the business strategy. Okay, so one last thing is I said, as a teacher, act as an expert high school physics teacher. Create a simple 60-minute plan for grade 12 physics on Newtonian third law of motion. Then it gives me a lesson plan to teach my class 12 students. 10 minute, a hook. Why? It's interesting how we move forward when walking or swimming, and what to teach, then a practice, an application for students to do, and then exit strategy. So here's the hook. How do we move forward when we walk? How do swimmers move forward in water? These are very, very important questions because fundamental laws of physics govern our motion. A motion jodi na bujhte pare student, he or she can never design a car or a medical system or even understand how the body works or even how objects work in their motion. Then what to stress on Newton's third law, then what is student exercises, application, and so on. So basically, I wanted to show that to you, to show you how useful it is to get a vast amount of knowledge. But it should also make you uncomfortable in the sense that it is something new. A single AI system can generate useful and detailed responses across domains that traditionally require different experts. ঠিক আছে? Right. A system that should not exist, nobody thought this would exist. In 2023, GPT-4, which is an older model, not ChatGPT, but the model underneath it, achieved or passed all the US medical license exams. All of them. Hardly, not many students do that. Any board, all the harder state boards, it passed. ChatGPT passed it. Or GPT-4, the model underneath ChatGPT. And why we said it shouldn't exist? Because medical students spend years mastering medicine, their knowledge. Yet a general purpose artificial intelligence could answer many of the same questions. So the most surprising fact about modern AI is not that it can chat, but it is a general purpose system that can perform highly specialized intellectual tasks. You have to understand that. Highly specialized intellectual task an AI agent can do. So what before modern AI, systems were built for specific tasks. তাই না? Some of you may have used applications or software for translating languages. I remember going to Google, ওখান থেকে English to Bangla, Bangla to English পেতাম. But if you were traveling, you had a little app to learn how to say Portuguese or to speak in Thai or Hindi or Turkish. There was another software to recognize faces. US government, a lot of places, they use facial recognition software to recognize faces. There were other software that would recommend products. For example, we would go to Amazon বা বড় কোনো retailer website, and depending on what you bought before, it could recommend what you might be interested in. তাই না? So this was already there. But what came about is a foundation model. A foundation model was the main discovery. It's a large AI model trained on broad and diverse data that can serve as foundation for many applications. And some examples are ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Llama, DeepSeek, Grok. A foundation model is trained once and adapted to thousands of users. So it's trained on literature, written text, music, images, movies. Okay, it took years, and many countries were involved in the sense that if you read some of the books of history of AI, recent large language model based artificial intelligence, you will see OpenAI and other companies, তারা পুরো world গিয়ে they hired people to enter data and to train, like this is a bad image, this is a good image, this is a child, this is a car. So there's a lot of training that happened in order to build this foundation model. So you'll hear this term a lot. It's called foundation model. And it's a foundation model is the way that we got this general purpose artificial intelligence that is able to do highly specialized intellectual tasks across domains. So basically, the training that's happened is learning from humanity at scale. At scale, money 10x, 100x, 1000x. That much knowledge it has absorbed. It's not born intelligent. It was made intelligent through the process of training. It learns, the foundation model has learned enormous amounts of human created information. And like I said, books, research papers, encyclopedias, websites, software, educational resources, music, imaging, movies. It's not just written text, okay? Every answer generated by an AI system is built upon knowledge that is created by people over centuries. So the breadth of the model reflects the breadth of humanity's recorded knowledge, okay? Where does the capability come from? ChatGPT never went to Holy Cross College, never went to Harvard, MIT, Dhaka University, Buet. It never worked a hospital, lab, courtroom, business. Yet it can discuss all of them because it learned from the materials created by people who did those things. So the intelligence you observe is built upon the accumulated work of millions of people. Now, there are some ethical, I have to say, there's some ethics debate of whether it should have been allowed to learn so much from humanity. But it already has this knowledge, and it's constantly updating this knowledge in newer versions of models that are being released every month or so. Learning across many fields, human experts spend years mastering one discipline. Physician studies medicine, historian studies history. A foundation model is different. In training, it learns from an enormous collection of human created material, right? Including science, literature, history, etc. Because the training draws from such a broad range, okay, the same model can be used this same model can be used to answer many questions. But that does not mean that it is an expert in every field, nor does it mean that the answer is correct. Like any learner, it has strengths, limitations, and makes mistakes. Of course, it's getting better all the time. So the insight here is age breadth, meaning the width of the knowledge, okay? The wideness of foundation models' capabilities from the breadth of its training and not from thousands of separately programmed expert systems, যেটা আগে ছিল, okay? It's fundamentally different from specialized trained systems. It is a broad system that has learned from everything that has been fed into it, which is sort of the known knowledge base of human civilization at this point. So the most valuable, so what do we get from this valuable machine? One of the most valuable is it's the most intelligent prediction machine ever built. So for example, every day ChatGPT generates billions of words. It writes essays, answers questions, explains scientific concepts, drafts business plans. Yet at its core, the model is doing something very, very simple, which is it's just predicting what comes next. I think I mentioned this in my lecture. It is a probability. It's a math model at the core of it with probability. It is not the same as human intelligence, although it mimics it. So it's just predicting what comes next. And it's very good at it because it's done it, billions of times. Consider this sentence. The capital of Bangladesh is, right? Immediately predict Dhaka. Most people, they will not say Sylhet and they will not say London. Why? Because continuations are more likely than others. Language patterns থেকে ChatGPT বলতে পারে বাংলাদেশ ঢাকা. Thousands and millions of patterns. Human learns them and AI learns them too in different ways. But the end outcome is the same. A simple idea. Modern AI systems are built around a simple task. Predict what comes next. During training, the model sees fish, what? Fly? No. Birds, what? Run? No. The capital of Bangladesh is Dublin? No. It will always try to predict this from patterns. So, does the model know what Bangladesh means? When the model predicts Dhaka, does it understand cities, countries, geography, and culture? Not in the way we do as humans. the model does not possess lived experience, consciousness, or human understanding. Instead, it has learned patterns that occur frequently together, which is very powerful. I'm not saying that it is not extremely powerful, but we humans do more than that. The model predicts patterns. It does not comprehend words the way humans do. So, prediction is not understanding. A medical student learns anatomy through years of studying. A journalist learns what's happening in this war zone. A business leader learns decisions and consequences. A model does not learn through experience. A model learns through patterns found in language. আমাদের ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজের মধ্যে অনেক ইন্টেলিজেন্স embedded. Fluent language is not the same thing as understanding. I can say a phrase today in Japanese so fluently, and a lot of people, and I can be, AI could be prompting me in the ear, but I won't understand a word of what I'm saying. From patterns to probability, the capital of Bangladesh is Dhaka. Very high, Sylhet low, London extremely low. You see, this is the probability categorization. যেটা সবচেয়ে high সেটা নিয়ে আসবে as answer. Model is estimating likelihoods, not searching for truth, not right or wrong, just probabilities. Why this works is it has enormous number of examples during training. So what is associated with what? Doctors associated with hospitals. Shakespeare associated with Hamlet, okay? Patterns accumulate over billions and trillions of learned relationships. And the training creates a vast network of learned associations. Beyond memorization, many people think ChatGPT is simply retrieving এত বিরাট broad and breadth of information থেকে it just simply retrieves, but it's not that. It is not a retrieval. It is not a database stored information and it just goes and retrieves it. Foundation model actually learns relationship among concepts. Bangladesh is related with Dhaka. এই দুইটা concept, photosynthesis and chlorophyll, Shakespeare and Hamlet, এগুলো associative relationship that it learns. Associative learning is the process of learning relationships among concepts through repeated exposure. Much of what appears to be knowledge is actually a network of learned associations. This is true for humans and it's true for artificial intelligence as well. Pattern recognition by associative learning. So the next concept I want to tell you about is representation learning. This is the hidden breakthrough. Modern AI does not memorize association. It has learned association through internal representation of concepts. Representation learning is the process through which a model automatically discovers. You don't have to tell it. Auto discovers internal representations. Cities, countries, medicine, business, literature, science become part of a connected mathematical topology. The model does not simply store facts and returns what it finds. It learns representation of relationships. So it uses what it has learned. The model has built internal mathematical representations. When you ask a question, the model does not search for the exact answer. Instead, it interprets your question using its learned representations, relates the question to similar ideas encountered during its training, then constructs a response based on those learned relationships with probability mapping. So every new question using the same underlying knowledge learned during training insight. AI answers new questions by applying what it has learned, very similar to human, not by retrieving identical answers from memory. আমাদের টিচারও বলে তাই না, do not memorize, try to understand what what the concept means. So memorization, হচ্ছে বাংলাদেশ, ঢাকা, ফ্রান্স, প্যারিস, জাপান, টোকিও। Generalize, যেহেতু memorize করে না, it can actually generalize. It can generalize through representation learning. So therefore, it can answer questions like compare the Industrial Revolution and the AI revolution. Very complex. It's not, there's nothing in the memory about this question. The value of AI comes not from memory alone, but the ability to generalize. So then we talked about training, vast amounts of information, যেগুলো ingest করে. তারপর it creates in a vector space embeddings of knowledge. Then it representation learns. ঠিক আছে? Concepts, related concepts are put closer in this vector space. এবং representation learning, what goes with what is the process of representation learning. Then it gives us the ability to generalize. And it can, because it can generalize, it can give you new answers, things that it has not seen ever. The model learns mathematical representation and not isolated facts. Embeddings is a map of human knowledge. Imagine every word and concept as a point in a giant mathematical space. Giant. I mean, medicine alone would be giant. I know. During training, the model learns not just individual facts, but place related concepts close together and unrelated concepts farther apart. Doctor is near nurse, hospital is near clinic, physics is near mathematics, biology is near medicine. It knows that. It has built this internal representation. This is what's called embeddings. Embeddings transform human knowledge into a giant interconnected mathematical map that allows concepts to be related. Why AI feels intelligence, a model can explain, summarize, compare, translate, adapt explanations for different audiences. You remember I asked, explain this at class 12 level, which is very important. I'm not trying to learn at the kindergarten level. I'm not trying to learn class 9 level. I'm not learning at class 10 level. I'm not explaining at the university level, class 12 level. It knows how to, there's a representation somewhere in an embedded vector that it knows what that level is without you having to, or somebody having to program it. So it feels very intelligent. A new family of models, foundation models, আমরা বললাম, GPT from OpenAI, Claude from Anthropic, Gemini from Google, and Llama from Meta. The shared ideas are the same across these models: training, representation learning, prediction, generalization. It's a rapidly growing technological ecosystem. So is generalization the same as understanding? The model can explain photosynthesis. Has it ever seen a leaf? It could probably describe one from you, pretty darn good, but it hasn't seen a leaf. The model can discuss surgery, but has it ever treated a patient? Capability and understanding may not be identical. Sometimes it is, if it's purely intellectual, but if it's an experiential thing like the leaf, তারপরে expertise in terms of doing a surgery, then understanding and capability are not the same things, right? Human learning and AI learning. Humans and AI both learn patterns from associations and generalize. But humans have extra capabilities, lived experience, emotions, very important. Embodiment, meaning we can feel things in our body. We embody our knowledge. We have a body that goes with the knowledge, right? And I mean, sometimes I feel some experiences are remembered by parts of my body. AI does not have that. Goals, consciousness. We have goals. AI does not have a goal. We have consciousness. We're conscious. We can lose consciousness. We can gain consciousness. We're conscious beings. Similarities with AI are actually quite a lot, but there are also deep differences. Can AI create new ideas? Modern AI systems combine ideas from different fields. It can generate a new hypothesis. It can suggest a new experiment, and it can propose novel solutions. And so the answer is yes, it can. Creativity may involve recombining existing knowledge in new ways. So it might not be a brand new idea only in a field, but a new idea can come from having a view of so many fields, interconnecting fields. So it can absolutely generate a new idea. It can also have an opinion on your new idea. If you have a new idea, you can vet it. জিজ্ঞেস করতে পারো AI কে, what do you think about this idea? Has anybody thought about this idea? Creation is not validation. You have the idea, you can generate an idea, or you can have AI generate an idea, but that does not mean you prove that the idea works. A scientific theory or a new economic theory becomes knowledge only after testing it, making sure that it works. This is the idea of validation. A business idea or business plan will succeed when you actually see it, when you execute it. Creativity and verification are different. But you can create many things. You can create a song, you can create a cartoon, you can create a video by AI now. Creativity for creativity's sake is also fun, but any idea that is, if you're trying to form a company, but you're trying to form a business, you're trying to do a new experiment, তখন you have to validate it. You have to do it. You have to perform it. How will AI change human intelligence? Writing changes memory. Search engines changed information access. AI may change how we think, how we learn, how we create, and we solve problems. এখন বড় ইউনিভার্সিটিগুলোতে, বড় meaning size-wise, MIT, Dhaka, all of those universities, they're integrating AI into the learning. And over time, it will change the way we operate, the way we think, maybe even the way our brains will evolve, maybe faster because AI is here. The open question is, how will human intelligence evolve when every student has access to an AI collaborator? The most profound impact of AI is not what the machines will do, but it is what humans will do with it. So now we have foundation models, the training of those to build those foundation models. We understand about representation learning. We understand about generalization, meaning generalized to new queries. এখন একটা নতুন প্রশ্ন আসে, what does it mean to learn when AI can explain almost everything? Well, I guess I don't have to learn anything. AI can go to AI and learn everything. So understanding AI is actually easier than understanding learning. তাই না? The value of learning something yourself. You know, information is not learning. I just gave you information about CRISPR and Hamlet and Tesla and all that. That's not understanding. Or it's not the same as. Student, we can watch a lecture, read a textbook, receive an explanation, and still fail an exam because we don't understand it. Learning occurs when new representation and abstractions form in our mind. Okay, AI should make us smarter. This lecture is not about how smart AI is. Is it helping you get smarter? is my concern. Seeing an answer is not the same as owning an answer. You own it when you understand it, not when you memorized it only, not when you've seen it. So, two students, same AI. One student says, use AI to generate answers and complete assignments. One student uses AI to generate answers and complete the assignment. Student B uses AI to identify her weak areas. She uses it to generate practice problems, create mock exams, explain her mistakes, and test her understanding. See, very different ways of using it. Exam day, you won't have an AI. You won't have internet. You'll have paper and pen. The same AI can you can use the same AI to use either bypass your learning or accelerate your learning. At different stages, AI has different value. At beginner stages, AI explain. Intermediate, AI coaches. Advanced, AI challenges. And expert, AI accelerates. The value of AI depends on what is already inside the learner's mind. Do not be ashamed if you're at the beginner level. Use it to get the explanatory juice. Borrowed intelligence versus developed intelligence. A student can use AI to solve a problem or use AI to learn how to solve a problem. So a student can use AI to answer a history question or AI to develop historical understanding. The ultimate measure is what remains when AI is unavailable. So educational value requires transfer of knowledge. So the critical question is, how capable did the AI become? That's not the critical question. AI is evolving and getting smarter every day. Critical question is, how capable are we becoming? So are we becoming stronger in understanding? Amader reasoning ki improved hocche naki? Is it fostering our learning? Do we have greater mastery? The purpose of AI in education is to increase the capability of the learner. So the question is not that can AI teach for the teacher. For the teacher, the question is, how do we maximize the capability transfer into students? AI capability. How do we transfer that to students? This is where teachers come in so powerfully, because teachers help students build the understanding, mastery, and the intellectual independence of anybody or anything. Independently understand and answer questions on a concept, apply it in novel ways. Educational value occurs when capability moves from the tool to the learner. এবং এই transfer, our teachers are the key elements. So if you, in an exam or test, if you remove AI, internet, your আমাদের সময় যেটা ছিল notes, what are you left with? Paper, pen. The ultimate measure of learning is what remains inside of us. So what AI is and what AI is not. AI is a foundation model. It is trained on a vast variety, as far as I know, most of human knowledge at this point, written and available. It is capable of generalization, and it's increasingly capable to do new things, new ideas. It has also the ability to self-correct. AI systems are also now facilitating their own learning, believe it or not. But AI is not human, and it is not omniscient, and it's not infallible, meaning it makes mistakes, bhul kore, and it is not a substitute for your learning. I don't want to hear about how smart the AI is. I already know that. How are we using that to increase our understanding? That's the question. So now, a question for your generation. For centuries, tools have amplified our strength, our mobility, যেমন airplanes, definitely. Today I'm here, tomorrow I'll be in Dhaka, something like that. Mobility has gone up like crazy. It has amplified our memory. It has amplified tremendously our calculations on any field. Eto number crunching, huge models are running in business, in defense, in aerospace. The whole world's climate data is being crunched by computers. So AI is not the first tool, right? There's been many, like the, fast computers, the chips of the computers, and airplanes, and then the internet, and then the mobile phones, smartphones, and the amazing laptops. All of these have amplified our capabilities. AI will amplify learning itself. We can learn faster and more things and find links that may not have been possible in a lifetime. আগে আমরা লাইব্রেরিতে যেতাম, believe it or not, to look at books. There was no internet. Then came the internet. You can look up things. এখন, I think you can find any book anywhere. You don't even have to find books. You can find the concepts in these books. So it amplifies learning. And what do we do with it is our decision. How can we ensure that the capability created by AI becomes capability embodied, possessed by humans, right? Most important question is not what AI can do, it's what humans become able to do because of AI. So now I have a knowledge check. Clinton, Chakwat sir, can you see my screen? We will have a little bit of a game. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, I can see clear.
Great. So the first question I have, students, তোমরা কিন্তু এটা answer করতে পারো on your own. Not কিন্তু, you should do it. Everybody should actually answer this question. Why can ChatGPT answer question across so many different subjects? What is the key phrase we learned today? Write it down. Put it in your WhatsApp chat. Second question. Ready? At a high level, how does ChatGPT generate an answer to your question? It hasn't learned those questions. You can put it, yes, you can put it in this meeting chat too. There's some excellent answers coming. Please do not feel shy to type an answer. In classes I teach, there are no wrong answers. The only wrong answer is when you don't ask the question. Ask a question, answer. Any answer is right because you are a learning system, just like AI. Anyway, at a high level, how does ChatGPT generate an answer to your question? Third question. Which statement is most accurate? Okay. Oops. I forgot to give the student most accurate statement. What I meant to say is AI gets the question right always, or AI can answer the question, and C would be it can answer the questions and get it sometimes right. So A is always gets it and gets it right. C, it can always answer the question, and C is always answers the question and sometimes get it right. So that's question 3. And question 4 is student uses AI to complete every homework assignment and receives excellent grades. Has the student necessarily learned why or why not? So I'm going to give you 30 seconds. I'm getting some very interesting answers. One was by Kafar, and this is for question 1, because it is trained in so many things, it can generalize them. Correct, Kafar. Fiona says AI can learn relationships among concepts, so it can answer so many different subjects. Correct, Fiona. Majabinson said it was trained on massive and diverse data sets and allow it to recognize different patterns. Wonderful. Swanen says sometimes get it right. Correct. And Prachi, because it's trained on vast human knowledge. Okay, so now let's look at a version of the answers. It is trained, question 1, as a foundation model on a vast repertoire of human written knowledge and builds relationships between concepts across many fields. At a high level, how does ChatGPT generate an answer to your question? It creates embeddings of related concepts, then uses those representations to relate a user's questions to those embeddings and generates the likely response. This is a very important concept to get out of this session. C is that it gets it right sometimes and always has an answer. And this answer, has the student necessarily learned? No. The embeddings are in the AI, not in the student's brain. We want knowledge to be embedded in your brain. We already know it's embedded in the AI's brain. If the student is simply parroting AI, the student has not built those representations, has not developed the capability to solve the problem independently. So I think that I am trying to see if I am still sharing, or help me out here if you can see my screen. I don't actually want to share anymore. But how about now? Can you guys, have you seen that I have stopped sharing my screen?
Yes.
Yes. Perfect, perfect. So now I'm going to open for just about a couple of minutes for any question. Sakwatsa, I don't know if you have anything from the WhatsApp group.
Sorry, I didn't get anything yet.
Okay.
স্টুডেন্টস, তোমাদের যাদের কোনো প্রশ্ন আছে তোমরা হোয়াটসঅ্যাপ গ্রুপে কোশ্চেনটা করবে। আমি সেখান থেকে কোশ্চেন বাছাই করে ম্যাডামকে দিলে ম্যাডাম তোমাদের আনসারটা দেবেন। হ্যাঁ, তো যাদের কোশ্চেন আছে তোমরা হোয়াটসঅ্যাপ গ্রুপ যেটা খোলা হয়েছে প্লিজ সেখানে প্রশ্নটা সাবমিট করবে। থ্যাংক ইউ।
Okay, let me see if there